Hey, it's me, the BT Motogp Portimao review. I'm back. First of all, that was scary, wasn't it? Thank you guys for coming back. Hope you guys appreciate me. I know what you guys want to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about the rucker. But man, I don't want to talk about the rucker. But we're going to talk about the rucker. But I'm going to let you suffer through these other reviews first. So, thank you guys for coming back. What did you guys think of the racing? Man, it was just great to get GP back. And I'm not ashamed to say this. I was so happy that I almost cried. I was so happy, and I know, but I'm a pussy now. I don't know what it is when you get older. You get in tune with your emotions. So anyway, ride of the race, Moto 3 goes to Denny Anchu. He started from pit lane and finished 10th. Damn, pit lane and finished. You know, everybody else was like, man, who the fuck is? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And he finished 10th. So great to him. Heartbreak goes to Joel Kelso. I love Joe. He crashed after he finished. That's a heartbreak. I was gonna give heartbreak and ride of the race to Denny Anchu. I decided to give it to Kelso because that's a hell of a way to crash. But hey, at least he finished the race. But damn, Joel, be careful out there, bro. Every time something happens to him bad, he's in the hospital. It's not really his fault. But anyway, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's walked under a ladder before these races, or a black cat has crossed his path, or maybe he broke a mirror. Anyway, be careful, Joel. Rider of the race in Moto 2 goes to Celestino Vietti. He had to serve a double long lap penalty from last season. I mean, you know, that's like, you know, like the old joke where, like, you know, say you get a murderer and you get double life, right? And what does that mean? Like, when you die and come back, you still got to go to prison. Like, you're like 4 years old, but you're in prison for a murder you committed in your past life. That's what that is. I mean, it was last season. He still got to serve that penalty. You see that spit fly out? That was disgusting. Anyway, so Celestino Vietti, I think he double on that penalty. He still finished, I think, 11th or 12th. So he gets right of the race. Heartbreak goes to Alonso Lopez. Hey, man, last year you were a Cinderella story. This year, can't do that, baby. Got to get it together, baby. Because now there's pressure on you. You and the Bascagura, is that Bascagura chassis? Yes, you and Algier. You know what I'm talking about, Algier. You and him are the only ones on that chassis, so you ain't gonna sneak up on nobody like a burglar like last year, where people are like, hey man, who's that? That was Alonso. Damn. Now they know you're coming, so you can't be crashing out like that. So there's your mulligan. MotoGP, you know what we're going to talk about. First of all, ride of the race goes to Fabio. Fabio, it was as low as 16th at one time and finished where he did. Props to everybody wants you to go to Brad Binder. Listen to me when I say this, because I know who's the Brad Binder fans out there. I love Brad, but I'm kind of a little bit sick of Sunday Brad, because I'm kind of sick of it. It's like, okay, he's Sunday Brad, but he hasn't won a race yet. Like last year, Miguel, his teammate, won, what, through the 3 races or 2? I know he won at least 2, and he's the one that had to leave, but Brad is still there. I love Brad, but hey, man, I mean, he did good. He really did, but at the same time, I know his neck was stiff. He was like Mickey from the Little Rascals, like, hey, the mule ran away. Where is Stymie? Remember he had that stiff-ass neck? I don't know if you guys watch Little Rascals in other countries. I know this goes to Europe, too, and they go, the mule ran away. Where? And he had that stiff neck, so it's got to be hard to race MotoGP with a stiff neck. Like, hey, man, I hope Marquez ain't around here anywhere. Anyway, so props to Brad Binder being able to race without looking back like, oh, shit, hope nobody's over there. Okay, I guess somebody was. And heartbreak goes to Miguel Oliveira, and this is where we're going to get to. Okay, listen. I see everybody dogging Marquez for what he did. First of all, Marquez is a straw that stirs the drink. Y'all might not admit that, but it's the truth. He is a straw that stirs the drink, okay? Let's not get it twisted. I love everybody on that grid. I love them. They are my heroes, my sports heroes. I love them. But let's be honest, man. You're always going to wait till Marquez gets back. He's like your dad. Remember when your dad, like, you know, your mom was like, wait till your daddy gets home. And that's what, like with Marquez. Even though props to Fabio, he deserved that championship. Props to Mir, he deserved that championship. Props to Pecco, he deserved that championship. But it was always like, wait till Marquez comes back. We all said that. Wait till Marquez. Well, he's back now. And that's what we all waited on. So now we got to wait again, because you saw what happened. Now, in turn 3, like this, even Marco Bezzecchi said, hey, man, turn 3 is tricky. He goes, how you brake is tricky. And Marquez said his brake, you know, the bike locked, and then he released the brake, you know, and lurched forward, surged forward like that. And maybe, I don't think he was trying to get back at Jorge Martin, but Martin got caught up in it also. So it was what it was. And Marquez is aggressive, like you saw on that docuseries. He said he's an asshole. They know he is, but and Marco Bezzecchi said it. We're all aggressive. And he said, he goes, we're all aggressive. I don't know why everybody's coming down on Marquez. We're all aggressive. And yeah, he's aggressive, but that's what they do. And so it happened. Now, if he would have made the pass, or nobody would have got hurt, he would have went wide and came back on him, would people still be talking the same shit? I don't know. But Marquez is and Marquez took full blame. But here's the thing though, and I will give you this though. He was supposed to serve a double long lap penalty in Argentina, but he's not going to Argentina, and so he might show up at Coda. And if he does, he doesn't have to serve the double long lap penalty, which I'm sure Celestino Vietti's like, "Are you fucking serious, bro?" And Luca Marini's like, "Can I get some more pasta, please? More gnocchi. Grazie." So I can see that, but he's a superstar, and superstars always get graded on a different level. You guys know that. I know that. It's like Michael Jordan. It's like, hey, man, that was a foul. Yeah, but it's Michael Jordan. Okay, play on. I mean, he's basically Marc Marquez is a Scarface of MotoGP. He's like, hey, you people, you'll need people like me to say, hey, there's the bad guy. There's the bad guy. And we do say that, but you know what? We love Marquez because we want to be Marquez. I'll always love Marquez. And props to his brother Alex. I'm glad he's on the winning machine. But hey, talk all that shit you want to, you still want to see Mark because he's still greatness. Anyway, what I want to talk about also, I love what MotoGP's doing. They're trying to compete with Formula One, which is great. Did you guys like the sprint race? I thought the sprint race was good, but I really think it should be 10 laps like World Superbike. I really think so because I think half a race distance that's a long day. I think it should be I think it should be 10 laps, just like World Superbike. And also, that fan parade, instead of warm up for Moto 2 and Moto 3, that fan parade, let's be honest here, man. That's okay, let me get it straight. So last year, even though the paddock was open, they still had a little bit of protocol for COVID, right? It was like, all right, you guys got your mask? You don't have to have a mask, but it helps to have a mask. You're trying to tell me they went from that to just people just being all up on like, hey, Mark, can I get a picture? You can't tell me that somebody's got a little bit of COVID. It's just floating in the air right now. And people are grabbing the riders. Look, I'm a geek. I'll say right now, I'm a MotoGP geek. If you really know me, you know I love these guys. I'm not even bragging. I perform for thousands of people, been on TV for millions, and I still don't get any more. I get more nervous when I see like a MotoGP rider like, oh my God. Is that Jorge Rueda? Oh, right? A 17-year-old kid, and I go, oh. So I know what that's like, but still, they're grabbing Marquez and taking pictures with him, and they're grabbing the riders, and you see some of them are like, no offense, but why would you want to touch the general public? I know you want to be, with the fans and everything, but let's be honest. And here's a legit question. Do you really want Marquez in a fan parade at Mazzano or Mugello? And we know how they feel about Marquez in Italy. Let's just be honest. Hey, that hate runs deep for what he did for what him and Rossi went through. So do you really want Marquez on a fan parade in Mazzano or Mugello? I mean, let's be honest, man. Who knows what that could go horribly wrong. I mean, let's hope it doesn't, but it could go horribly wrong. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the fan parade, but I know what you're trying to do. And let's just be honest. MotoGP will always be better than F1, and F1 knows it, but F1 will always be more popular because of seniority and because more people drive cars than motorcycles. And motorcycles, they're always stereotyped. Trust me, I know about stereotypes. Trust me, you know where I'm going with this. Trust me, when I walk into a restaurant here in America, they go, oh God, there goes my tip. So I feel like I have to tip like 25%, even if I get like trash ass service. I still got to tip 25% because And I feel that everybody looks at motorcycles like they're thugs, like Marlon Brando and the Wild Ones, like they're motorcycle gangs. And people look at motorcycles as gangs, as hooligans. So they'll never really be accepted by society. And which I think is great. Will still be a niche sport. And I think it's great what they're trying to do, get more fans going to the Uzbekistan, wherever it is. I don't know what the place it is. But India, which is great, but it'll always be that little bit of thuggish to MotoGP, which I love. So it'll never be accepted by the public, the mainstream, but I'm fine with it, but still. So anyway, that's what I feel about MotoGP. And Moto 2, I got to give a shout out. MVP, it was going to be between Pecco and Pedro Acosta. What Acosta did to Aaron Canet was like almost like a boxing match where the guy's like just every round just peppering him. He could knock him out, but he doesn't. And by the fifth round, the dude was like, hey man, just knock me the fuck out. It's like Mortal Kombat, and you're like, just finish him already, right? And Pedro was like, all right. And the last 2 laps, it was almost nasty. If you saw Canet in the interview, he looked like a defeated man. He was like, man, I don't know what we got to do, but we got to do something. It was like, it was almost nasty what Pedro did. He's going to have competition. Ogura's going to come back. I think Sam Lowe's has 3 races in him. Jake Dixon has a little chip on his shoulder. He's got a wife, he's going to have a kid, and I think he really wants to prove himself. So, but at the same time, man, Pedro, god damn, Pedro is the man. He's the boy that will be king. So I think he's gonna win it. He'll have some competition from like I said, from Agura and from Arbolino. But goddamn, it's Pedro's world, and we're just watching it. But Pecco is beautiful. Pecco is my MVP. That's not over yet, but I think it's beautiful. So anyway. That's my review, man. I know it's a little choppy, but hey, I'm a little out of it, but I'm glad to be back. Hey, critique me, comment me, but thank you. I don't care. I can take it, man. Appreciate you guys watching. Tell me what you think about the sprint races. I give the overall GP, I give it an A plus, A minus. I hate everybody got hurt. Hey, man, prayers goes to Paul Espargaro, you good-looking bastard. Hope you get well soon. You too, Marquez, and you too, Oliveira. Love you guys. Until then, thank you for watching. You know how we say about this time. You know the word. Bye.